My name is Island&nbsp Senior, and I'm a wampum artisan.
My name is Demitri, and I like fine art, basically painting, drawing, charcoal, all that.
My name is Thawn Harris. I have made bark baskets, and I do finger weaving. I do lots of different things that could be considered an art. And I've learned how to do those to make sure that they're passed on.
Well, my name is Lor&eacute, and I'm Narragansett Niantic, and I do a variety of traditional art forms. I do beadwork, basketry, finger weaving, regalia making for my own personal family, to name just a few.
My name is Dawn Dove, and I dabble in a lot of different mediums, I guess. Lately I've been doing collage boxes. You know, I have 8 grandchildren, and I'm going to have 2 more in April, little twins. So that might give you an idea that I've been around here for a long time. And art has just been a part of our lives. I think as Indigenous people, there's a continuum of the artwork that we do.
I think I've been learning to do my art my whole life, and I can remember being really young and learning things from my mother, from my aunts, from my grandfather, from tribal elders.
Well, I did a lot of watching my mom and her sister, and some of my uncles and aunts make all the different things that they would use in their regalia before powwow. And what fascinated me the most was the shell. So I started tinkering myself, and in the tinkering it eventually led to some more refined pieces that they could not do because they never had the tools that we have today. And I was a little stinker where I'd look at some of it and say, oh, I can do a little better than that. I'd say that to myself and go out and experiment. Wampum is been part of me for as long as I can remember.
Around my teen years is when I kind of really started getting into trying to make things. I mean, as a kid, yeah, you would make like all little boys. Where I grew up, wanted to make like a bow and arrow. And you would make different things. However, it wasn't until I was a teen that I really wanted to not only make something, but make something that was nice and that other people would envy, so to speak, would really like.
I started when I was about 5. I always watched my brother create art because it's like a way for me to like express myself. It like relaxes me. Kind of like when I play basketball, I like forget about all my worries and my troubles.
I love my native reality. I love my native tradition. Wampum just happened to be a part of that. And when I'm working with it, it's comforting. It calms you. And I think most artists would say that about what they do, whether they're painting or making pottery. It's something within yourself which you're drawn to and you can't put down once you get started. You don't want to put down.
Someone who is creative, someone who knows how to express themselves.
I remember it distinctly because we were talking about sort of being an artist and sort of what that means. And one of the participants, a tribal member, she said to me, well, of course you're an artist. You've been teaching this for over 20 years. She says, don't you remember when you taught me how to bead and you had this little tiny apartment and we were all sitting in your living room and there was, you know, a half a dozen to a dozen women just all sitting around beading and I was teaching them what I knew. And I think because I have 2 degrees in education, I always thought of myself as an educator. And whenever I was teaching arts, I still thought of it as education because I was teaching someone something. Whatever I learn, and it's maybe the nature of being a teacher, anything I learn, I immediately turn around and teach someone else. And so I learned everything deeper because of that, because I was always teaching other people, my friends, my family, children in the school, children in our community. I would always do that. And so it made my knowledge about the art deeper because I was sharing it with others. But in that, I never considered myself an artist. It wasn't until after I was 40.
I don't really consider myself an artist, but when you think about what an artist actually is, I suppose I am an artist. I have traveled to other countries, storytelling. I have showcased some of my other work in art exhibits. So, reluctantly, I would say I am an artist.
Support the show. Become a patron. Visit www.patreon.com/artways. This podcast is sponsored in part by Amica Insurance. Auto, home, life, Amica. Video produced by Lynsea Montanari, Narragansett. Videography support by Dana Neugent. Media Supervisor, University of Rhode Island. Video editing by Michael Johnson. Music used for this show is from the album Mother Earth, with special permission from Eagle and Hawk. Look for more of their music in iTunes.